You came to this video because you can't quite break that addiction from Destiny. But the game is in the prime season of breaking things for you. The servers hit another fruit or vegetable error. Sometimes the servers even hit a cat along the way. And you want something to take the edge off again. You also hear Diablo has some Destiny dope. Well, you're in the right place, because I'm going to break down if Diablo 4 is worth it for a Destiny player. Games are expensive now, especially physical games being the same as digital downloads, which makes no sense. And you can't download feelings, you can only experience them. I'm experiencing feelings for you. Mwah! Kissy kissy. Don't think twice about it, it is Pride Month after all. Diablo 4 is very different from Destiny, but I am playing it early and this video isn't sponsored. It's just for you to make your mind up and see if it's worth it. Short answer for my taste is yes, but only if you play Destiny for the grind, the loot, and the build crafting. If you play Destiny for the gunplay and mostly puzzle mechanics, I hate to break it to you, but guns haven't been invented yet. And apparently neither have puzzles. No aliens and robots, just angels, demons, ghouls, and loot goblins here. So, let's get into it. The first impression I had when jumping into this game was, damn, these servers work pretty flawlessly. Update, I have been in queue for over an hour and Blizzard issued a server message. Looks like all good things must come to an end. To be clear, even though Diablo is available on console, this game is best played on PC for the range of attacks, combinations, and the ease of handling a big room of enemies with a mouse and keyboard. This game is very much a PC first type of experience. So let's talk about the story first.
There is no light here. You came to the darkness for knowledge.
The main campaign establishes the stakes quite well, since good versus evil, light versus dark is a pretty easy one to follow. And the tone, yeah, it's very dark. So if you don't like blood and guts, some twisted themes for little Timmy here and there, well, I cannot recommend this to you. Diablo 4 starts with probably the best cutscene I have ever seen in a video game, and I want you to experience the full thing for yourself. The main story and the side quests both progress the character really well, and it's one of the biggest compliments I can give the game. Your enemy is named Lilith. And you are there to fight with good against evil, because all these villagers are hypnotized by her demonic ways. They love committing sin. To talk about progression a bit more, it feels like everything I'm doing has a purpose, and jumping in with friends who are further behind in the story is no big deal, because the world will scale with every enemy and mission to your level. Speaking on that further, the loot will also drop for your level as well, and the game has difficulty options called world tiers for better rewards the harder the difficulty is. There's even a challenge for the first 1,000 people on hardcore mode to reach a milestone and get their names etched into a Blizzard statue. Other quality of life that I noticed is that transmog is completely free, with no weird ways of getting the looks. Just acquire the weapon or armor piece, and the color shades are also the same way, completely free to use whenever. Please, God, Bungie, get rid of your awful transmog. You might think that comes at the cost of items looking dull, but it's not. In fact, all the armor looks pretty unique and distinguishable from class to class, and there is a lot of classes that all have a crazy amount of abilities and weaponry built for them. To give you an idea of how fleshed out the builds are, I am following one of my rogue builds for burst damage, but there are multiple builds that are strong for this character, that all serve different purposes for team fights and for boss battles, leveling, whatever, and respecking costs almost nothing. The game is also breathtaking for the style it's going for. When normally in these top-down games you could sacrifice a lot of quality for quantity, Blizzard really delivered a visually remarkable game, even if I dislike the 30 FPS cutscenes. I found out that 30 FPS cutscenes are on me. There's a setting you can turn off, and I feel really stupid. Most of the time you will end up skipping through side quest dialogue, but some are really in depth and have you chasing down loot all the way into dungeons. I don't think I've run into one that was really that deep, and most cinematic moments are reserved for the main story, but this game is very much about the game first and the story later. I would like to see Blizzard make a movie with whoever is in charge of these cinematics, because a Diablo movie around Lilith and Anarius would go really hard. The lore is there for those who want to pursue it, but instead of the game being a weekly story of small snacks of content, you have a full platter with some extra tidbits in the lore if you go searching. Like I said, the story is very dark, but the gameplay is very bright. Look, Destiny players, this is either for you or it isn't. If you're used to shooting a gun and getting attached to the feeling of your weapon, you are gonna hate this game. If you like the mechanics of puzzles, you might be okay with this because the puzzle is figuring out builds and using a team to knock out bosses. I can't speak too much on the end game since very few people are even close to that, but just know that from previous Diablo games, there is all sorts of wacky and crazy adventures to be had. There's always a reference to cows, with Diablo 3 even having a bovine level, and other odd realms to jump through, and from a few clips I've seen, it looks like puzzle mechanics are on the table. So there is some of that for you here. What I do appreciate is how much thought goes into difficulty scaling, as there are dungeons that are different on different levels, and change on quests, and especially on hardcore mode where death is permanent. This game is much better with a clan or friends to play with. My clan, the Egberts, for anyone who wants to join, is available, so just shoot over a request. And I would best describe the abilities and build crafting like all different colors of the same rainbow. That's not because it's Pride Month, but come on, get a smooch. For example, on my rogue, I have a Shadow Step stun that I place a poison trap down after while they're stunned. Then I hit them with vulnerability, then I dash away before I get hurt badly for my damage. This is all just one character with one build out of a bunch of options and abilities without maxed out stats or any legendary items in my inventory. Oh, I'm also one character who's one tiny part of a larger team. Legendary items do serve to be like exotics, but I would say Destiny weapon exotics are always going to be the most unique. These legendaries are going to have a bunch of slots to put extra stats into, and they might affect the game, like giving you an extra use on an ability or a fast cooldown or some sort of benefit in that regard. But rarely do you find that true Destiny exotic feeling. We'll just have to see as time goes on because, like I said, most people aren't in the end game yet. The point is that the abilities are everything, and the loot is everything else, as you will spend your time chasing it forever. You have every vendor to max out leveling, collectibles to gain even more power, and by the end, you'll see yourself clearing entire dungeons in seconds. That is Diablo in a nutshell. And if it's for you, it's for you. Otherwise, keep the gunplay and the first-person experience of Destiny tight to the chest. Also, I recommend if you do buy the game and you play on PC, set up a macro, because clicking will get very tedious. So, are you thinking about buying this game? Will I be seeing you in my clan? Or are you good with waiting for more Destiny? I will say that it is intimidating to pick up an ARPG like Diablo if you're not used to the number game of stats, but just know that nothing really matters until you're max level. But even then, just have fun first and think later. I would say this is a nice break from Destiny until next season, and let me know if this video helped you decide. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.